Welcome again, everyone. Gerry's Old Guy Review. Happy Thanksgiving. Special story time with Gerry Thanksgiving edition. And while I'm feeling thankful for you guys, I know it's looking at the truck and I'm some hands. I'm like the Muppet. If you know what that reference was. So feeling thankful also makes you feel nostalgic. So in the premise of Storytime with Gerry, we are going to revisit a vehicle that RC 4-wheel drive needs to bring back. This is, the Beast 2. Now, this is a mixture of a lot of their items on a vehicle. And this truck, why I'm feeling nostalgic, is this truck's 10 years old. I got this as a kit back in 2015. As you might say, this was the very first kit I built in my new house that I got in 14. Now, these came out as a ready to run and then came out as a kit. This truck is just like the Gelande 2, in my opinion, that you don't expect it to be as capable as it can be. Now, let's just go through some of the hodgepodge. We're going to flip her over to look at the bottom because you're not going to be able to see the shocks, but it's running Yoda 2 transmissions. Jeez, how much eggnog have I had today? It's running the Yoda 2 axles. Geez, I'm going to get that right. And it has the shocks that will eventually go on the Gelande 2. They're 2-stage. They are not the TF2 shocks. It has the R3 2-speed transmission, which is the same transmission in the OG TF2. Right about here. But it does not have the hammer transfer case. It has one called the Triton. Now, this truck, like a lot of the RC 4-wheel drives, is just abound with metal. With the metal chassis, the metal rims, the metal axles, the metal links. It even has the ends of the drive shafts, which, man, these drive shafts, wait a minute, since I have the newest one to look at, those drive shafts, yes, that come on the Beast 2 are way beefier. Should have been on the TF2s. But in the day of 6-wheelers, this only competition was Cross, which Cross was also doing. This is a man style military vehicle, so of course European. What else was on this? Oh, these Humvee beadlocks, they still carry them sometimes. And the ZL mil spec wheels, which, hey, after 10 years, this truck primarily lives its life during breakup up here when it's muddy and slushy and nasty. This was my very first rig that I did a lot of styrene work on, because you build this whole truck to include all these tie downs, everything on the side panels, you glue on. There are some, I think there's like panel handles here that they're molded in, but it's all white. It's all you have to glue. To include, hey, I just screwed one up. This is an access door for your electronics. You do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of styrene, excuse me, not let it fly, and metal pins and E-clips. It is just tedious. Okay, stop. Your electronics go in this nice box. Mine isn't pretty because being as old as it is, the original speed control went kaput. And I think this is a 1080. No, it's a 1060. So I do not have, wait a minute. Where's my receiver? Oh, there's my receiver. So I do have the 2-speed. I've got everything hooked up. It's got a full light kit. Oh, that's why this is separate. Those are the lightings. So it came with a light kit. Doesn't come with a spare tire. That is an OG TF2 tire. Okay. It's got a very Spartan interior, but you do have all of this is styrene, everything on here, window frames, everything. You have to glue. You've got lights here and then lights on the tail, metal rails. But what I thought was neat originally with this truck was, so again with the styrene, you make hinges. There's a release here. So, you know, I've got battery cables and stuff back here. Let's just do this, because this is something else that's nice. The bed comes right off. What's stuck on here? Oh, just the lights and the battery plug. So easy access to the engine. Everything's in there. Transmission, 2-speed. There's the 2-speed servo. The battery goes back here. And what I do with a lot of these is I put an extension on it so I can get to it. This one right now is only running nickel metal because this truck, it's not super fast, but it's super scale looking when it's driving around. And if I can get that back in, 4 body clips hold that on, and then you clip that. It's all metal. The mechanism locked. If you want to get super crazy scale, it had the gunners. I actually had it right here mounted. It had a 50 cal mounted on it, but it took a thwang and went flying somewhere. Never found it. You've got a gunner's port up here that you can put a gunner figure in there if you want. If not, it covers right back up. Full mirrors, door handles. I just did all these little crazy camouflage, but a few years ago in the Versus Challenge, you guys voted to have this in. Unfortunately, I got, let me see if I can remember this, somewhere in one of these, the little rocks and things that I put, that I glue down on my course, got a rock jammed up in the drive shaft. So I thought it had a failure, but it didn't. So it got kicked out of the competition. Unfortunately, even though they made things really high, I made this truck really work for the Versus Challenge. So these boxes have been ripped off. Oh, that's another thing. It's all styrene. You put these boxes together. Strangely, though, these mud flaps have done very well. But the 6-wheel drive setup was weird with these links back here. But this thing, you know, this is one of those trucks you put all the love into building it, that you just, You have to take it out. And I'll tell you, with these beadlock wheels, let me count real quick. Let me put my finger here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So 18 screws that you run in through the backside and put nuts on the outside. I literally got done with those wheels and put it in a box for a year. Because I was like, this is so tedious. I need to move on to something else that I can get done in more of a prompt time. But kind of kicked myself for doing that because this truck has proved itself. I've thrown vehicles in the back here. I mean, these shocks can hold some weight. Ugh. I don't know how hard I can push things down, but I've put trucks in the back that this is hauled around. This truck looks terrific going through deep water. The tires are not vented, so it doesn't collect any water. So really fun to drive this through water and whatnot. The lights are great for the winter. I may have to get this out again for some winter driving. Surprisingly, these military spec tires do very well, which is kind of a shock. But that's the same way with my Hemmets and my UMG 6x6. You know, a lot of people have ragged on the military spec tires, but in my military days, I've seen some Humvees do some crazy shit. But this is perfect practice for making styrene if you can grab one. You know, a lot of this stuff, RC four-wheel drive stuff, you can probably still get bits for. And notorious four-wheel drive, RC four-wheel drive transmissions, a lot of give before it stops. But I don't know why they stopped. I know why they did with the Beast original. It was too big. They only offered the cab for it. No bed or anything. So I got one because I was a fabricator. And, you know, I fabricated a back for it. But ended up selling it to my buddy who wouldn't stop hounding me about it. I really regret getting rid of that one. But picking this one up right afterwards, you know, this, other than the tediousness, this is something I wish RC four-wheel drive would bring back. Because basically HG models and Cross are the only name in military vehicles. So this truck was a lot more capable than I thought it would be. It's not in the same wheelhouse as, say, the UMG 6x6, TRX6. Let me look around. It's not really in... Oh, it doesn't even... TRX6 and UMG6 aren't even in the same wheelhouse as the Cross NT6. But, you know, there's really no competition for this truck. With the craziness that Cross is doing, I really wish RC four-wheel drive, because, you know, I know you watch all my videos. Yeah, okay. Bring the Beast 2, make the Beast 3. Bring it back, tweak it. For those of you that have never built a kit before, probably not your first choice, but neither's Cross. But if you've built a kit and you've worked with styrene, this would just be a great truck to be back on the market. And, you know, part of story time with Gerry is that I'm going to show you things that are not readily available anymore, but with a little bit of looking, I think if you could score a Beast 2 that somebody has sitting on a shelf, this is excellent. It is an excellent rig. RC four-wheel drive, so axle parts, shock parts, transmission parts, all that stuff should be available still. Well, and again, happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully, by this point of the day, you're watching football, your team won, or if you knew it, your team lost. I'm going to be rooting for my Lions. And again, thankful to all you viewers, subscribers, commenters. Happy Thanksgiving.